decades, and more could be in store as we've got playoff football again at sold-out Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Coming up, divisional round Saturday. We've got an AFC battle on tap, as it'll be the Denver Broncos taking on the New England Patriots.
To kick off for the Broncos.
For a berth in the AFC Championship game, off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. Oh, good-looking return set up here. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
That kind of kickoff return is something we call a momentum play. So if you're the offensive coordinator and you have a script of plays that you plan to run, you may change it up now because you may decide to go for some bigger strikes and try and keep the momentum going.
They'll run it. Here's the rookie from Ohio State. 5 yards on the game's first play. Second down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Good play and a well-timed run from Richardson to pick up the first.
First and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Up the middle, it's Henderson. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. Alex Singleton, a former Canadian League star, in on the stop.
Come on.
And they'll go to the air now with Richardson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. And in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Back to throw. Here's Richardson. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early first and goal.
Henderson is into the end zone. Touchdown, New England. So a good job there, Charles, taking advantage of the short field, and they score first, punching it in on the short touchdown run.
I love the theme there, right? They didn't have to do anything big on that drive. Took advantage of where they were on the field, took it downfield, put the ball in the end zone. The only thing big on that drive, the 6 on the scoreboard.
Patriots 7, Broncos nothing.
The kicking unit out for the Patriots as they send this one away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here.
35-yard line.
Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up first and 10 at their 35-yard line. Now the Central Florida product is R.J. Harvey. He'll get this to about the 38.
think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. And now they'll shift things around. To throw is Nix. A short throw to Ingram. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Here's a quick throw out to Mims. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and 4. That was a lightning-fast decision that time. He just caught it and got rid of it.
Because he saw his guy was going to be open immediately. So he took the R, the run, out of the play. He took the O, the option, out of the play, and immediately got to the pass.
Nix to the air. Open man is playing. He's got it. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots 30.
That's good. Broncos first down. A gain of 15.
They'll run with McCaffrey. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Second and 10 at the Patriots 30-yard line.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Here's Nix. He gets this underneath to Dobbins. And he'll be marked out right at the 20-yard line. This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches. Now it's Nix. To the sideline and incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it.
19-18.
How about this? They'll change it at the line. They'll go for it. Here's Nix. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10.
First down. It's a gain of 3. First down, Broncos.
Throwing Nix. Oh, and that is incomplete.
And I could see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Bombers. Captain. Joe.
Back to the air with Nix. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
That play call wasn't there for them against that coverage. So they're going to spin the dial now in their playbook and come up with one more shot at the marker to try and keep this series going.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Bombers. Hey,
To throw, here's Nix. They'll try and do this himself. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
For the Broncos field goal. A 29-yard attempt.
The kick by Lutz is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one.
At their own 22-yard line.
New England with a 1st down as they begin the drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Oh, they're changing this at the line.
18, trap 60.
Going for it on 4th. Richardson. He's got his target. That's complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th.
1st and 10 at the
2nd quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. Henderson now on 1st and 10. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. So from just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd and 9.
70 Rangers, 70 Rangers.
2nd and 9.
Richardson looking to throw this. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 38-yard line.
Panther 11, Panther 11, Dragon 60.
1st and 10 at the 38.
Now Richardson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
And Richardson slides down after evading the defense, and he moves the chains.
It's a gain of 11.
Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Open man, Kyle Williams has got it. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 18 yards the gain for number 18.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
But he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Richardson going to change the play here.
70 Rangers, 70 Rangers. Go.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
A big one coming in this divisional round playoff, 3rd and goal.
Panther 11, trap 50.
Richardson looking to throw. Over the middle, he finds Henderson complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Trevion Henderson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Patriots would extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. Gets it underneath. Here's Harvey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. A final shot before break. Nix. And he goes down. It's a Patriots sack. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Nix going to give to Harvey. And he'll get it down here to the 43. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line. So this is going to come out to the 35. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
Here's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Nix. And he can't escape, and down he goes. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down. 3rd and 14.
Back to throw. Nix. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, if they have any designs of getting back into this football game in the second half, they're going to need to be much sharper offensively than they were on this opening possession. Not much happening here, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
And now they're going to go for it. This isn't 4th and inches. This is 4th and 14. They're going. It's Nix. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Patriots take over, and they're going to have terrific field position. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they give to Henderson. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. 17 yards there for the Patriots as they've got themselves a 1st down.
And that's a great run, and this is where you've got a running back who feels like he needs to take over this football game. You're in the second half, you've got the lead, you're looking at moving on to the conference championship, and he's got to be saying, just keep giving me the ball, and I'll get us home.
They'll go again with Henderson. Showed off the toughness, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
60 Bison, 60 Bison. Street, street.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
After running it, now Richardson will throw it. But I think the ball's out. And this is going to kick out of bounds. Boy, a fortunate bounce or two there. They'll keep possession back inside the 10-yard line. On 4th down, out comes Andres Morales for the Patriot field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So the lead extended, and I think at this point you say, hey, defense, take us to the end.
Well, if I got some good music to put to that, I could have a good country hit. I like the way you expressed yourself there. I think the offense has done enough so far. But like you said, if your defense is only giving up 3 points, makes it a lot easier to settle for field goals on this side of the ball.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still is not really... Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
The Patriots take over 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Henderson running straight ahead. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
From the 33, here's a 2nd and 5.
Come on, set. Cougar 19.
Now Richardson going to shift things up. Again, it's Henderson. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Trevion Henderson saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Patriots continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead.
24, Broncos 3.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
35-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions. But there's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Throw out wide is incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Working out of the gun is Nix. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
An audible here to get a new look. They'll try and throw for it here. To the right side and intercepted. Inside the 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Patriot defense has a touchdown. Well, CD, we have seen it many times throughout the course of the season. This defense coming up large and snagging a big takeaway. But here they get not just the takeaway, 6 points as well.
And you just knew that for this team to advance, it had to get a big performance from this unit. And to this point, they've delivered.
Extra point right down the middle. And that'll increase their lead to 28.
Broncos 3.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
Bombers. Away. Captain. Away.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. A short throw to Ingram. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. 1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Foxborough. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Bombers. Away. Captain. Away.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. That's taken in by Franklin. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Gain of 7. And the Broncos first down.
Harvey now on 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Should rely more on the passing attack?
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. How about this? They'll change it at the line. They'll try it now with Harvey. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And it'll be a turnover on downs.
Ready? Shot alert! Check up!
On 1st down, it's Henderson. Looking to find a lane, but he can't rein in at the line of scrimmage. The tackle made there by Drew Sanders.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They run once more with Henderson. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
Like any team, they would have loved to have had more yards on that run, but it looks like they just want to get to the 2-minute warning and see what they want to do after that.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down.
Ready.
From the shotgun, they run with Henderson. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. 83 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
At the 30-yard line.
Come on, set. Panther 60. Ready.
From the gun to give to Henderson. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Apparently the week off hasn't hurt him one bit. 1,000-yard rush in the regular season. Got his first touchdown here in the playoffs. Perhaps the week off energized him.
A great article in the paper this morning basically saying that they would not have won the division without him. And he's not their only piece, but I think that's a fair statement.
It's easy to say it this way. He's their main cog.
Extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kicking unit out for the Patriots as they send this one away. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin at the 35-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They knew this would be tough on the road divisional round, and that has certainly been the case with the deficit they face in this fourth quarter. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
On first down, back to Harvey. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace it.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, "Are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down." They love being physical.
Once more with Harvey. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
And they're moving on to the conference championship. How about this?
What a tremendous feeling to get to the game that can get you to the Super Bowl. A fantastic season. Unfortunately, for the other team, a tough way for it to end.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Patriots winners here at home as we say so long from Foxborough.